Hi guys, this is Tech Howdy. I welcome you to another video tutorial on creating a featured image slider using ASP.NET Core and Angular 8. In the last video tutorial, we finished coding the create new gallery method. And in this video tutorial, we will code our second API method, which is the method that is required to delete the gallery from database and server. So when I say database, means the information about the gallery from the database table, and from the server means delete the images related to that gallery from the server directory. So this method to delete the gallery will be an asynchronous request. So it will be public async. It's going to be a task that's going to return an I action result, and the task name or the method name is going to be delete gallery. And when we want to delete a specific gallery, the user or the client is going to provide the ID of the gallery in the route of the request. Now this is going to be our HTTP delete request or HTTP delete method. So we are going to access it once again by the action name / the ID of the gallery that needs to be deleted. So now let's complete the body of this method. So the first thing that we will check, as always, is if the model state is valid, and if it's not, then we will return a bad request. The next thing that we are going to do is we are going to find the gallery that is requested to be deleted by its ID using some link query on our entities from Entity Framework Core. So let's do that. So we'll call this variable find gallery, and we will await. We are going to await for the response of this query. So we will call our database object, then call the galleries entity, and then try to find by async the gallery with the specific ID that was requested when the method was called. So now the next step will be to check if the result returned null. So if the result returned null, obviously we will send a response back to the client saying that the requested gallery with that ID was not found. So let's do that. Okay, so we have added an if condition here. If this request returned null, then we will return a not found response back to the client. Now next step is if the result was not null, that means there was a ID, there was a gallery with the ID that was returned, then we are going to remove it from the database. To remove from the database, we will call the galleries entities and then call the remove method. And which gallery we want to remove is the gallery that was returned by this query. So it's the find gallery. So we want to delete this gallery. Now the next thing that we want to do is delete. We have deleted the gallery information from the database. Now we want to delete the gallery folder or the gallery folder or the directory from the root folder and all the images related to that gallery as well. So that would be the next step. So what we want to do is now let's delete the gallery folder on the server. So we're going to create a private async method as we did over here. To create a directory, we are going to add a private method to delete the directory. So private void, because this method doesn't return anything, delete gallery directory, and we will specify the int or ID of the gallery. And here we will write the logic that is needed to delete the gallery from our server directory. So first thing that we want to do is to delete a specific gallery on our server or gallery folder. We need to get the path of the folder where it is stored on our server. And to get the path, we are going to create an object called as gallery path. And here we are going to write a code to combine our web root path and the gallery's path. So here we have the code. What we have done here, first we have accessed the web root path of our server. Then we want to access the gallery. Now the gallery folder's name is basically the ID of the gallery. Therefore, when we are requesting if gallery folder to be deleted, we are passing the ID of that gallery folder, or the name of that gallery folder is basically the ID, and we are concatenating it over here to the path. When this method will be executed, I'll put a breakpoint here so we can understand it more clearly what exactly is happening. Let's go ahead and start coding this method further so we don't waste time here understanding, because we are going to again review this when we actually delete the folder on the server. The next step is to store all the files with the gallery folder in a specific array. Now we will make a copy of the folder or the files that we have in the folder. That's because for some reason the delete process did not go through. There was some network error or some error was caused and we could not delete. So we want to make sure we have a copy of the old files so we can replace them easily if there was an error. So the next step is to store all the files with the gallery folder in an array. So let's do that. Now how we are going to get all the files from the gallery folder, we are going to create a string array called as files, and then we are going to get the files from the gallery path by calling the directory class dot the get files method. We'll get the path of all the files that we have in the specific gallery path. Now the next thing that we want to do is check if the gallery folder with the ID exists, and if it exists we will go ahead and delete it. So let's do that. So here what we have done is we are checking if the gallery folder with that ID exists. So we'll call the directory.exist method and specify the gallery folder's path. And then if this condition is true, if the gallery exists, then we'll delete the files inside that gallery. So all the files inside that gallery, we have the path over here inside this string array. So we will run a for each loop on the string array. And then what we want to do is we'll first of all set the attributes of the file attributes to normal, and then we will delete it. So here why we are doing this file attributes dot normal, why we are setting this attributes to normal, because we don't know what the file is stored as. If it's read only, then we cannot obviously delete the file. Therefore first thing that we want to do is set the attributes of the file to normal. Therefore by doing this we can then delete the file, and then we call the delete method on the file. If you don't do this, it might work sometimes, but sometimes if it's only read only, then you'll get an error saying that the file cannot be deleted. Therefore it's better to set the attributes of the file to normal and then we delete the file. Finally, what we are going to do is after we have deleted all the files, we will delete the gallery folder as well by calling the directory.delete and providing the path of the gallery folder. So kind of makes it more clear here that we are deleting all the files inside the gallery folder first, and then we are deleting the gallery folder itself. So as I told you, we will review all these methods once again by putting a breakpoint over here, and then once we go step by step, then it should be easy for us to understand. Now let's go back to the delete gallery.id since we have completed. So once the gallery folder is deleted, all we have to do is await and then call the db.set save changes async method, because unless we do this, the query will not be executed on the database. And finally, what we want to do after we have cleared the database, deleted the folders and files, we want to send a response back to the client and tell them that the gallery was deleted. So let's do that. So here is the response. We will return a success result to the client or to the browser. If we are testing in some application, then obviously it's not a browser. So if we're sending back to the client the response, they will return a JSON result and they will see its gallery deleted and the gallery ID that was deleted. So this should be it for the web API method to delete a gallery and the gallery folder associated with that gallery. In the next video tutorial, which will be the final video for web API tutorial of this uh, gallery controller, where we will create the update functionality. And once we have done with creating all the APIs, we can then start working on the admin panel for the preview and adding of the gallery. So the code will be pushed into the DeveOps repos and you will have access to it. The link will be provided in the video description. If you have any questions, use the comment section and don't forget to like and subscribe our channel Tech Howdy.